Good afternoon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this session on deepening regional economic integration through cross-border payments, fintech, infrastructure, and policy coordination. So, the African Continental Free Trade Area. Okay, I'll start by mentioning the key objectives of the study. One is that I'll touch on the current state of integration in Africa, and then I'll now focus on the role of financial integration as a connector, and then I'll end with policy recommendations. So we all know that Africa has been battling with lack of structural transformation. The productive capacity in Africa has been low and not too impressive. So we see regional integration within the African Continental Free Trade Area as a game changer. It's been tagged as a game changer because we think that it will trigger regional value chains and build productive capacities and also lead to economic development that we've been looking for. But this doesn't happen magically. There are the market, but not a single financial space. So we need to harmonize payment systems and also to harmonize regulatory policies. Let's see this. So the goods still face payment barriers. The financial systems are still fragmented. There is lack of digital infrastructure in the continent, and regulatory frameworks are poorly harmonized. So we see the missing link or the missing pillar as digital financial integration. And that is in the form of harmonized payments, digital infrastructure, fintechs, and regulatory harmonization. Why does it matter? As you know, Africa trades less than itself than any other region. Europe has achieved 68% intra-regional trade, Asia at 58%, North America 46%, but we're still battling with 15 to 18% within Africa. But with the African Continental Free Trade Area and the progress with the institutional framework, we see that market access is no longer the issue. But the issue is that the cost and friction of moving money across borders, is now the big challenge. So there's been some progress in making AfCFTA operational. Also, Africa has also been experiencing a digital revolution where financial inclusion has expanded to 58% of adults. There's been mobile money adoption of up to 40% and rapid growth in fintech. However, there are some gaps in cross-border payments, and the interoperability is still far-fetched. So digital infrastructure is still uneven, regulatory harmonization lags, and there are trade costs. There are still high trade costs within Africa. So the core argument is that the progress in one area is constrained by the weakness in others. So this is a map showing, Africa has uneven distribution of infrastructure, digital infrastructure indicators such as access to electricity and broadband internet. You can see the green, the countries on green are the ones with the highest level of both internet penetration and access to electricity. You can see the North African countries of Morocco, Algeria, Libya, Egypt, as well as Botswana and South Africa are the main leaders, while Nigeria is at the medium level of our digital infrastructure measures. So the central thesis is that Africa's integrations challenge is systemic, and digital financial integration is a major challenge. Is a major challenge. Digital financial integration is the connective infrastructure that can link trade, financial markets, and digital infrastructure, as well as investments in fintech and innovation, and that could really trigger industrialization, regional value chains, and economic development. So these are some of the channels that which you can operationalize that across sectors. Under trade, digital financial integration can enable seamless border payments, reduce settlement costs, and foster customs clearance. Within the financial sector, we talk about interoperable payment systems, local currency settlement through PAPS, which it's a platform of the AfCFTA. We'll hear more about it. And also digital infrastructure like broadband payments. So across all the sectors, or these sectors highlighted here, digital financial integration can really promote its effectiveness and operationalization. So we're looking towards an Africa that moves from its current state of multiple payment systems, currency conversions, high transaction costs, slow settlements, and regulatory inconsistencies to one that is integrated, with PAPS being operational, local currency settlements, interoperable payments, harmonized regulation, and lower trade costs. So these are like a 5-pillar policy framework. We'll start by, we think that to operationalize this digital financial integration, we need to expand PAPS and local currency settlements, invest in broadband, fiber, and regional infrastructure, prioritize interoperability access, mobile money, and fintech, harmonize digital payments and cybersecurity and data governance, and also embed digital financial integration within national development strategies. But this is within the purview of different organizations. We think AfCFTA Bank can really expand the PAPS platform. AFDB could work on the infrastructural finance. AU Commission can focus on policy coordination, while the after secretariats can do the regulatory alignment. Central banks can work on the payment interoperability, while private sector can work on increasing investment and innovation. And this is like a roadmap with the short-term goals of expanding PAPS, mid-term of regional regulatory sandboxes, and then the long-term of integrating Africa digital frameworks. So I end on this note, that the success of the AfCFTA will depend not only on removing tariffs, but on removing the financial, digital, and regulatory barriers that continue to divide African markets. And the 3 concise takeaways are to integrate payments, connect infrastructure, and harmonize regulation. And I thank you for your listening. Thank you.